Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.
Hello, bubble blowers, and welcome to Talk to the Fish, the only show where your diving problems don't sink to the bottom. I'm Jack, and today's show is all about helping you humans look less like drunk seahorses underwater. Let's look at the request of our viewer, Sharkira. Dear Jack, I'm a yo-yo. 1 minute I'm eye level with the sharks. Next I'm basically high-fiving the flying fish at the surface. Help! Today's topic is so important, we're making it a two-parter. And who better to talk about buoyancy than my guest Regis, a fish who actually had to learn how to swim. Can you believe that, folks? He's a diving instructor longer than I've been avoiding my predators. I mean, my tax collector.
Thanks, Jack. At least I didn't need as much air in my bladder as some clownfish I know.
Hey, I was just trying to compensate for my massive personality. But seriously though, what's the big deal about buoyancy? Why should our viewers care about mastering it?
Now that's a buoyant question. With a poorly controlled buoyancy, you're the party guest who crashes into everything. And trust me, the marine life does not appreciate the unexpected cuddles.
Oh, like that time you tried to fist bump that grumpy octopus?
That was one time. But here's the serious scoop. Bad buoyancy means you're either fighting to stay down or struggling not to shoot up like a champagne cork.
So Regis, you're saying maintaining depth is harder than keeping my jokes fresh? And that's saying something.
And you know, Jack, it's not just about respecting the environment. Without proper buoyancy control, you cannot control your ascent, which is problematic. 1 minute you're admiring a seahorse, the next you're waving at the surface. It's dangerous.
And what about those divers who are training for underwater cha-cha, up, down, inflate, deflate? My fins are tired just watching.
It is also a lack of buoyancy control, the consequence. Every time you inflate or deflate your BCD, you waste air. And it modifies your breathing, thus you also consume more air.
Yeah, a double butt kicking.
Plus, constantly adjusting your depth means you're working against pressure changes. Before you know it, your tank is running on empty, and you're missing the clownfish fight show. No offense, Jack.
Offense taken, but I've got to admit, nothing's worse than having to end a dive early because you've been huffing and puffing like a locomotive trying to stay at depth.
And let's be honest, nobody wants to be that diver who has to wave goodbye to their buddies with half a tank left. Do you leave a party before they serve the cake?
Cake? If it's a moist butter cake, I want my share.
Not to mention the stress of feeling like an underwater yo-yo. This stress will focus all your energy on just staying in one place.
And you're missing out on all the amazing sights, as my clownfish show, for example. Let's dive the gear reasons into what's weighing you down or up. And trust me, it's not your diving instructor's bad jokes.
Unlike yours. But seriously, the main reason is the weight. Most divers are carrying far too much weights. You don't wear a winter coat to a beach party, it's completely overdoing it.
And let me tell you folks, overweighting is the number one culprit here.
Sure, it feels safer for beginners to pack on the pounds. Gives them that false sense of security, but it's like teaching someone to ride a bike with training wheels made of concrete once that bad habit sinks in.
Yeah, it's harder to shake off than a clingy remora.
So my advice, lose weight.
So you're saying I should go on a diet? I'm feeling personally attacked here.
No, but most divers need about half the weight they're using. Your weight should match your body type, gear, and water condition. If you're sinking too easily, you're probably overweighted.
Speaking of floating issues, what's the deal with those BCDs looking more inflated than my ego after a good show?
You know what's funny about BCD?
Of course, but please, explain for the viewers.
Half the time it's not even the gear's fault. Divers just treat their deflate button like it's their ex's phone number. They handle with kid gloves.
Do they take this emptying technique with a pinch of sea salt?
Nice.
Thanks. I do my best for this show.
It's not a gear malfunction here, but more a technique problem. You have to lean back on the water surface and place the bladder in a straight vertical position, thus eliminating any residual air pockets.
Hey Regis, can your wetsuit really mess with your buoyancy that much?
Yes. First hot water is like a floating party, less dense than cold water, so you're more buoyant. Diving into a different water temperature and you may lose your acquired buoyancy. And about new wetsuits, It's basically a floating marshmallow. Those pristine air bubbles in the new neoprene are just dying to lift you up.
Any final words of wisdom for our viewers? Oh, floating guru?
Adjust and drop those extra weights, like they're hot coral, check your BCD isn't hiding sneaky air, and remember, your wetsuit isn't just keeping you warm, it's a flotation device in disguise.
Well, that's all for today, folks. Thanks to our guest Regis, who finally learned there's more to diving than just floating around.
At least I don't need a compass to find my own fins, Jack.
Next week on Talk to the Fish, we'll explore the topic, extremely serious science, performed by a clownfish. Picture Einstein in a fish costume, conducting experiments with the scientific rigor of a caffeinated squirrel on a unicycle. Until then, keep making bubbles, not troubles. And remember, stay neutral, my friends.
Forget all the troubles and blues. Dive into the blue. Oh yes, talk to the fish.